There was a young man named Arav, whose life felt like a battlefield no one could see. From the outside he looked normal, but inside he carried storms that never stopped. Every insult replayed in his mind, every mistake felt like a heavy chain, and every fear whispered louder than truth. He couldn't sleep, couldn't focus, and couldn't escape the thoughts that dragged him into darkness. One morning, after a night of overthinking that felt like drowning, Arav decided to leave everything behind. He traveled far into the mountains to meet a monk people called the Silent Master, a man known for understanding the mind deeper than anyone alive. When Arav reached the monastery, the monk looked at him only once and said, "Your eyes show me someone who is not tired of life, but tired of his own mind?" Arav's voice broke. "Master, my thoughts control me. I replay every fear, every memory, every moment I regret. I am trapped in my own head." The monk smiled gently and handed him a clear glass of water. "Hold this," he said. Arav held it easily. "How heavy is it?" the monk asked. "Not heavy at all," Arav replied. "Now keep holding it." A minute passed. Then 2. Then 10. Arav's arm began shaking, and soon the weight felt unbearable. He finally said, "Master, my arm is hurting." The monk asked softly, "Did the water become heavier?" "No." "Then why does it hurt now?" Arav stayed silent. The monk said, "Because you held it too long. This is your mind. A single thought means nothing. But the longer you hold it, the heavier it becomes. Anxiety, fear, regret, they are all just glasses of water. You suffer not because you have thoughts, but because you never put them down." Arav lowered the glass with shaking hands. Something inside him shifted. The monk led him outside, toward a cliff where the valley stretched endlessly below. The wind brushed against their faces. The monk said, "Your mind is like this wind. You cannot stop it, but you can learn how to face it." Arav asked, "Master, how do I control my mind?" The monk said, "Let me show you through a story." He pointed toward the valley. "Years ago, a warrior came to me, broken by fear. Thought his enemies lived outside, but the real enemy lived in his head, his own thoughts. I taught him what I am about to teach you." He continued, "When a thought comes, do not fight it. Fighting gives it strength. Simply watch it, the same way you watch clouds floating in the sky. Say to yourself, this is just a thought, not a command. When you become aware, the thought loses half its power." RF repeated softly, "It's just a thought, not a command." The monk smiled. "Good now. The second lesson, replace, don't resist. If your mind tells you I can't answer with I will try, if it says you will fail, tell it, I will learn. You cannot remove darkness by fighting it. Remove it by turning on the light." Arav felt something inside him loosen, a grip that had held him for years. Now the monk said, "The final lesson, let go daily." He picked up a handful of sand. If you hold this too tightly, it hurts. If you hold softly, it stays. If you open your hand, it leaves peacefully. He let the sand fall. You must let go every night your fears, your mistakes, your overthinking. What you refuse to release will eventually rule you. Arav's voice trembled. "Master, I never let go of anything. That is why everything controls you," the monk said. At sunset, the monk gave Arav a bowl filled to the top with water. "Walk back to the monastery without spilling a drop." Arav walked slowly, eyes fixed on the bowl. His entire mind focused on one thing, not spilling the water. When he returned, the monk asked, "Did you notice the birds, the trees, people around you?" Arav shook his head. "No, saw nothing except the water." The monk said, "Exactly. When your mind focuses on your purpose, distractions disappear. When you give attention to what truly matters, doubts fade, fears weaken, and the world becomes quiet." Arav felt tears in his eyes, not of sadness, but relief. The monk placed a hand on his shoulder and said the final words that changed his life. "Control your mind before it controls you. Your thoughts create your reality. Your focus shapes your life. What you hold becomes heavy. What you release sets you free." For the first time in years, Arav felt peace, not from changing the world around him, but from changing the world inside him.